Alright, so here's your notes section on volume. The volume of a solid is the amount of space it occupies. It is measured in cubic units, cubic feet, cubic meters, cubic inches, whatever kind of cubic whatever. The most common units of volume are the cubes of the units of length. So the units of length that we use: centimeters, centimeters cubed; millimeters, millimeters cubed; meters, meters cubed. And then your conversion, when you convert between these units of length, this is the conversion chart that we use. So an example is to convert 0.37 meters to meters cubed to centimeters cubed. So if we start with our 0.137 meters cubed, our units that we're going to use, our conversion is 0.137, and we're going to multiply that times 1 million, because that is our conversion factor on the next chart over. And when we do that, we'll end up with centimeters cubed. So when we multiply that, we end up with 137,000 centimeters cubed. That is 1 million, and that comes straight from the conversion factor you just copied down. Uniform solids, when we're trying to find the volume of a uniform solid, a cylinder, a triangular prism, a cube, a rectangular prism, what we're going to use is the formula that volume is length times the area of a cross section. Now, when we mean a cross section, all we're doing is cutting it across like parallel to the base, so we can actually change that area of a cross section to area of the base, whatever our base is. So volume is equal to the length times the area of whatever our base is. So the base of our rectangle is the width times height. So length times width times height. The volume here would be the length of our rectangular prism times the area of the base, which is that triangle. So we would find the area of that triangle, multiply it by the length. The volume of a cylinder, we're going to take the length or the height of the cylinder, and we're going to multiply that by the area of the base, which is the circle. So we find the area of a circle, which is pi r squared, and we multiply that times length. Other solids like pyramids and cones, it's going to be 1/3 the area of the base times the height or the length. And remember, the height must be parallel or perpendicular to the base. This is not our height, that is our slant height. When we're talking about the height here, we're talking about this height that goes perpendicular to our base. And then the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. So if we were to try to find the volume of the following cylinder, our formula would be volume equals the area of our circle, which is our base, times length. So to find the area of the base, if our diameter is 36, then our radius is 18. So area of the base, area of a circle, is pi r squared, and then we're going to multiply that times length. So it's going to be area is pi times 18 squared times the length, which is, let me actually fill that in. Our length or our height is going to be the 45 meters, so times 45. And when we plug that into our calculator, we get 45,800, and our units are millimeters, and it's volume, so it's cubed. And then the volume of our square pyramid here, the volume is going to be 1/3 times the area of our base, which is that rectangle, times the height. So we get 1/3, and then the area of the rectangle is going to be 5.1 times 2.3, and then we're going to multiply that times our height of 6.8. And when we put all of that into the calculator, we get 26.6 centimeters cubed. Make sure you're putting these into your calculator so that you can make sure that you're able to get the right answer. And if you're not, bring those questions with you to class tomorrow. All right, so example 15 says a box has a square base and its height is 12 centimeters. If the volume of the box is 867 centimeters cubed, find the length of the base. So we've got volume is equal to length times width times height. And because it's a cube, the base is a cube, we know that if the height is 12, then this is x and this is x. They have to be the same. Length and width have to be the same because that's the only way this can be a square base. So it's a square base, and then the height of our prism is 12. So we end up with volume equals x times 12. And then we know that the volume is 867, so 867 equals 12x squared, because x times x is x squared times 12 is 12x squared. We divide through by 12. 867, we end up with, when we hash that out, we get x squared equals 867 over 12. And then we take the square root of both sides, and we get x is equal to 8.5, and we're dealing with centimeters. Make sure again that you can plug that into your calculator and get the correct answer. The final example for this set of notes is find to 3 significant figures the radius r of a cylinder with height 3.9 centimeters and volume of 54.03. So remember again, our volume is going to be the area of our circle times our length. We know that area of a circle is pi times r squared, and that's going to be times length. Now we plug in what we know. We know that the volume is 54.03. We do not know r, but we do know the length or the height, either one. We can change those to h's, times 3.9. And then all it is doing the math to solve. So we're going to divide this side by 3.9 times pi. We're going to do that to both, because that'll cancel out my pi's and it'll cancel out my 3.9. So now I'm left with r squared on that side. And we're left with 54.03 divided by 3.9 pi. We take the square root of both sides. Square root of r squared is r, and the square root of 54.03 divided by 3.9 pi is 2.10, and we're looking at centimeters. Make sure you've written down all the notes, taken all of the, worked through all of the examples, and bring any questions you have with you to class tomorrow.